Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about the hidden rules of your world. These are the invisible forces that shape, well, pretty much everything you do. Your biggest life decisions, your smallest habits. And the key to unlocking all of this? It's probably in your hand right now. Or at least super close by.
Yep, you guessed it. We're talking about your smartphone. I mean, think about it. It's not just a tool anymore, is it? It really feels like an extension of you. It's got your memories, your connections, all your secrets. You know that feeling when you leave it at home? It's like you're a little bit naked.
And we totally think we're in control of them, right? We pick the apps, we decide who to call, we spend all this time curating our profiles to show the world exactly who we want to be. It absolutely feels like we're in the driver's seat.
But what if it's the other way around? What if that phone and all the unwritten rules that come with it are actually controlling you? What if it's a tiny window into this huge system of pressures and rules that are guiding your behavior and you don't even see it happening? Well, this is exactly where sociology comes in. It gives us a brand new lens to see the world.
The first step, the #1 skill you need in sociology, is learning to make the familiar feel, well, strange. It's all about looking at your own life, the stuff you do every day, as if you just landed here from another planet and you're trying to figure it all out.
So what is sociology, officially? It's the systematic study of society and social interaction. But don't think of it like a boring textbook full of facts. It's way more like a toolkit for decoding the why behind all the things we do. It helps us find these hidden patterns in our world, in everything from how we drive to work to how we fall in love.
And this quote from Peter L. Berger just nails it. The first wisdom of sociology is this: things are not what they seem. Social reality turns out to have many layers of meaning. The discovery of each new layer changes the perception of the whole. It really gets to the heart of it, right? We're not just looking at the surface. We're basically detectives peeling back layer after layer of everyday life to see what's really going on underneath. All right, let's peel back that first layer, shall we? We're talking about the invisible rules, what sociologists call social norms, that control how you use that phone in your pocket. You know that feeling, right? You're in a quiet cafe and someone starts taking a call on speakerphone. That cringy, awkward feeling? That's your internal alarm blaring that a social norm has just been violated. We all learn these unwritten rules, these informal norms. Things like, keeping your voice down in a library, or not peeking at someone's phone over their shoulder. They're not actual laws, but man, they are powerful.
But here's where it gets really interesting. These norms, they are not universal, not even close. What's considered normal or even heroic totally depends on the culture. So you see here, the hanging coffins of Sagada are a sacred, respectful funeral practice. To an outsider, it might seem bizarre. Then you have the Boston Tea Party, an act of total deviance, right? But it became this huge symbol of patriotism. It just goes to show you, normal is completely relative.
And here's another fun layer for you. Sociologists love pointing out this gap between our ideal culture, what we say we value, and our real culture, what we actually do. So ideally, we say, oh yeah, we should totally put our phones away during dinner. But in reality, we're all checking notifications under the table. That little bit of hypocrisy, that tension, that's a huge part of how society actually works.
Okay, let's go deeper. We've seen how our phones connect us to rules, but they also connect us to people, to groups, and this shapes our identity. But it can also kind of box us in. So we all belong to different kinds of groups. There are primary groups. These are your small, tight-knit circles with deep emotional connections. Think about your family group chat. Then you have secondary groups, which are larger, more impersonal, and usually based on a shared interest. Like a fan group for a TV show on social media.
But this constant connection has a dark side, one that sociologists are really focused on right now. The algorithms on social media can create what we call filter bubbles or echo chambers. They're designed to show you what you like, which sounds good, but it means you're mostly seeing stuff that just confirms what you already believe. This can seriously ramp up political polarization and make it way harder to even be exposed to different ideas.
And this whole echo chamber effect gets magnified by something called media consolidation. I mean, get this. In the US, pretty much all the mass media outlets are owned by just five massive corporations.
Yeah, you heard that right. Those 5 companies, they control a staggering 90% of the media in the United States. 90%. That means what you see, what you read, what you hear. It's all coming from just a handful of sources. This can create a really homogenized message and, you guessed it, makes those echo chambers even stronger.
So, the big question is, how do sociologists figure all this stuff out? How do they uncover these hidden patterns from phone etiquette to media echo chambers? Well, it's not guesswork. They use real, rigorous scientific methods to look at the hidden blueprint of society.
And they basically have 2 main tools in their toolkit. First, there's quantitative research. Think quantity. This is all about the numbers. Big surveys, stats, finding broad patterns in behavior. Then there's qualitative research. Think quality. This is about going deep. It's about understanding the why through things like in-depth interviews.
A really great example of this qualitative approach is something called ethnography. There's this famous study called Middletown, where a couple of researchers literally moved to Muncie, Indiana, and lived there for 18 months. They weren't there to study some remote tribe. They wanted to understand what ordinary American life was like by actually living it.
And when you use these research methods, that hidden blueprint of society starts to reveal some really deep inequalities. You see things like the digital divide, the gap between who can afford the latest tech and who gets left behind. And it traces things like capital flight, how our phones are designed in one country, but then assembled in another for much, much cheaper labor. It connects the dots. So let's bring it all together. Here's the really crucial point. Once you start to see all these hidden layers, the norms, the groups, the power structures, you can't unsee them. It's like your eyes have been opened. You've started to grasp one of the biggest, most powerful ideas in all of sociology, the idea that our reality is socially constructed.
Okay, look at this sign. On a purely physical level, it's just some paint on a piece of metal, right? But we all instantly know what it means. It has a powerful meaning because we, as a society, have all agreed that it does.
This is a perfect example of a core sociological idea called the Thomas theorem. It's simple but profound. If men define situations as real, they are real in their consequences. Basically, if we all agree something is real, it becomes real because of how we act. Because we all agree this symbol means accessibility, it leads to very real-world things like building ramps, creating special parking spots, and passing laws. Our shared belief literally changed the physical world.
And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. Our world isn't just made of physical stuff, of atoms and molecules. It's built out of the shared meanings that we create together. Everything, from how you use your phone at dinner to what a symbol on a sign means, we are all co-creating our social reality every single day. And the coolest part? Sociology doesn't just show us how that world is built. It shows us that because we are the ones who built it, we also have the power to change it.
So now you have the basic tool of a sociologist. It's the ability to look at the everyday and ask why. So my question to you is, what part of your world are you going to make strange tomorrow? Your commute? The way people line up at the coffee shop? Your family dinner? Go out there and see what hidden rules you can find.